Yes, yo, you don't stop. Big John come rocking the short shot. It's a new season, new background. Jay, I figured out the lighting. I can change the background. Look at us go. Only took me 6 months to get it going. Fastest show in MLB, absolutely anywhere. Crypt Zombie, what's going on? Grab the spear, grab the shield. Part of the Phalanx here at 300, where we give the books nothing and take from them everything. Let's get it. Brian E., good morning. Buen dia, buongiorno. Bienvenidos, my friend. All right, let's get it. This is going to be fun today. Of course, if you know me. Who am I? It's the girl named Sugar. John Laghezza at John Laghezza on the Burr app. X. Leghezza for any out there. Yeah, if you know me, homie. Of course, because the formatting is different. Right? You know, I handicapped 5,000 games, but when you fall into the routine, again, one of the things I'm very proud of, can also be a bug, not a feature. When I have to kind of slam the brakes and pivot this entire ship, right? I turn like a cruise ship. Surprise! To get the formatting together, also the way we need to view playoff baseball is quite different than regular season baseball. We're zooming out, people. Okay, let's do it. The thing that we do, me and you, Call to the Pen crew, rate, review, and subscribe. We're going to work through it. I'm going to break it all down. I got some really cool stuff. A little bit different than usual. And then some futures bets as we talk through this. I think I was on CBS Radio with Dukes, Jeff L., good morning. And we were talking about the playoffs briefly. And it started to really dawn on me how wide open it is. So for us bettors, I think futures are probably the way to go, right? Once you get into the granular 1v1s of the games, they're all really close. Pricing is going to be really tough because everyone's watching for once. But there's some good futures odds. So Jay, let's do some of that. I know I have DK up. We're using BetStamp. But those prices are pretty much found anywhere. Always important to shop around when it's futures in particular because, you know, not props the same. If you follow my NFL stuff, it's just the pricing disparity on websites is like nuts. I'm telling people, you have to like beg and claw to get on Bet365. Like it's worth it to just pay somebody. Anyway, odds always at the center, price always at the center of it. Okay, let's do a quick overview from the 30,000 foot. We're just going to be looking at the first round right now. So remember, these are 3-game sets. No alternating venues, right? So you're staying in that city. Houston ended up getting the division. They get the bye. Baltimore, best record, gets the bye as the 1 seed. National League. Braves, of course, the GOAT. Pitching problems. Dodgers, number 2. Those are the bye teams. We're going to look at them more carefully when it matters. When we want to really sink our teeth into this, since there are no games today, I very rarely have the luxury of that. Right, so we're going to, again, do something a little bit different. Of course, it broke my formatting and my brain this morning. Set me into a, emotional tailspin. But that's why I have you guys. And my man Jaybird to, I would say pick me back up, but I'm more liquid than anything. So it's mop me back up and squeege me back into the bucket. First up, it's Blue Jays and Twins. That one's in Minnesota. Texas at Tampa. In Tampa. Arizona at Milwaukee. Miami at the Phils. Okay, let's start at the very top. So I actually, of course, I read them out of order as my first boo-boo. I had it set up Texas and Tampa. So I actually want to start there because that's why I have it formatted. Again, I mentioned pitching. The problem with Texas right off the bat, William C., what's going on? Good to see you. OPMG, my man. Capo status. Grab your spears, guys. Grab the shield. Time to defend Sparta. Texas, as good as they've been, We've seen real highs and real lows. In particular, we want to be viewing the top side of the Rangers offense because all the pieces are back together. In particular, I'm sure if you were to start running player splits with or without Jonah Heim, a little bit with or without Corey Seager. And I know there's something else I'm missing also. Garcia had a couple stints. Is that starting pitching for the Rangers? Normally when you think of playoff baseball, big-time strikeouts, big-time bully stuff on the mound. You don't have that in Texas. They tried. They tried. Right? Lord knows they tried. But DeGrom on the shelf, you're not getting him. Not that it was so much Gray's game, but the White Wolf of Winterfell on the shelf as well. Gray on the IL with some forearm stuff. At first, when I saw they were putting him on the IL, I thought, oh, maybe they're like resting him. Sometimes you hear that. It's a blister. He's got diarrhea. Something that's no big deal. But forearms, probably not. So I believe the Rangers will turn to Montgomery. It's Jordan Montgomery, Nate Eovaldi, Andrew Haney, and Dane Dunning. Some of these teams, I have 3 guys. Some of them I have 4. Again, it's a 3-game set. We're not exactly sure where teams will go. It might come down to splits. You might get primary/followers. Remember, it's all hands on deck. Again, we're going to have some fun today. So I have Montgomery as the 1. 3.2 ERA, 1.2 whip, 688 OPS. The indicator is kind of close to 4. You're not getting strikeouts, but nobody is getting you strikeouts. Not a single pitcher of the 4 has a better than 23.5% K rate, though none of them has a double-digit walk rate. Heaney at 9.5. When you're rolling on Heaney looking for playoff wins, you're probably going to be in trouble. Why? The bad math we always talk about on the show. 42% fly ball, double-digit barrel. He's lucky it's only been 1.4 homer 9. So you got to put Heaney in the 3 spot. Eovaldi was great, but be careful with the season stats, even though I know I mentioned it. I'm more looking at that for offense today. Pitching, not to say pitching is a small sample game. Pitching trajectory changes more easily. It's also only a single person. Offenses going into the playoffs, this is kind of proven. I wish I had it handy. Sorry, guys and girls out there. I don't. But we've had it tested over and over and over again. If last 30 days impacts playoff production, it does not at all. It's a full reset. When we get to the offense, we're going to be looking at big picture. Again, part of the formatting stuff where my brain just came out of my ear, drip by drip. It's only 2 drips, not that much in there. But instead of 14 days and second half, I think on offense I've got second half and whole year. We're going to be looking to draw more of a specific pitcher before the bullpens. So starting pitching for Texas is going to be rough. Not a single Sierra in there below 4.2. Again, we mentioned it. K rates, no big-time swinging strikes. No one's at 12. No CSWs above 28. That one belongs to Montgomery. He's got the second best first strike rate to Heaney. But he has easily the best combination of elevation and power profile, right? Batted ball quality, BBQ. BBQ. Eovaldi with the 51% ground ball, but his misses have turned into more damage. 43% hard hit for Eovaldi. That number 37 for Montgomery, who's been really good. Again, this one is on the road, where Montgomery and Eovaldi have both been good this season. Go figure. Texas not a bad place to pitch. 2.7 ERA for Montgomery on the road this season. Sub 1 homer 9. Eovaldi 2.27 batting average allowed. 3.5 ERA. 6.60 OPS. 0.7 homer 9 for Eovaldi on the season on the road. You got to think they'll be going Montgomery and Eovaldi. After that, Haney, probably the bigger time pitcher. They've gotten better results from Dunning. Dunning, again, it's no strikeout stuff. He's going to succeed, or I should say his success is predicated on the ground ball, on the contact, suppression. Dunning, again, has been pretty good on the road. 3.10 ERA, half a homer 9. I believe he'd be the third choice, but that's a rough one. So there's your Texas rotation. Let's get to Tampa. Heavy, heavy, heavy edge for Tampa. Brian David, good morning. Nice to see you. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Made some money on the foosball. Now let's get back into the baseball. Where again, I'm liking some future stuff. We're going to handicap this from a macro standpoint. Look at series, the pennant, divisions, World Series today. Come back tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel, 9:30. And start doing the games and then the usual kind of betting thing. We're going to be laying the foundation of this entire series today. So that was the Texas rotation. Again, let's get over into the Flatfish of Florida. Those Tampa Bay Rays. I mean, big time edge as far as pitching. Glass now best pitcher in the series. 3.5 ERA, 108 whip, but a 6.17 OPS. The indicators just flashing. 3.08 Sierra, 3.6 expected. 33.5 K to only 7.5 walk. That's a 25.8 K on his BB for all you mathematicians out there. 16.5 swing and strike. 33.5 CSW. 35 whip, 69 first strike. 82 zone contact. Really just domination in the zone. If you do get the stick on it, 51% ground ball, just off the hook. Man, the misses have got turned into barrels, but not converted into home runs. The 291 expected woba, hard to fool. He's been absolutely awesome. Though he's been much better at home than on the road, I really wouldn't be too worried. You know, I forgot I have second half stuff as well. There's one thing I wanted to circle back to Texas for that I saw that I forgot to mention. Glass now down the stretch, freaking awesome, yo. 3.22 ERA, 1 flat whip. 3 flat Sierra last 78 innings pitched, 32 K. Really looking awesome. Just 122 stuff plus on the Saris model, which is so good. Remember, it's not WRC plus where every tick is 1%. Every 10 is a standard deviation. Tyler Glass now 2.2 standard deviations better than the field. Really good. The thing I wanted to get to was the Eovaldi stuff, second half, really atrocious. So even though it's not like I dislike Eovaldi pound for pound, maybe he does reset and really look great. My worry is it has something to do with the injury and getting right after it. Right, he missed some time with injury. And the second half, it really spun off the rails. This is Eovaldi. 7.2 ERA, 1.7 whip, 5.5 K walk ERA, 5.4 Sierra. 19% K to a 13% walk rate down the stretch. Yikes. 24 CSW, 28 O swing. That's not going to do it. 49 hard hit, 11 barrel, 2.4, homer 9. Eovaldi really struggling. If Texas drops the first game, they're in a lot of trouble. They're in a lot of trouble. So you got to like Tampa for the first round. Of course, I don't know why I'm not seeing. I got baseball stuff up, but I'm not seeing. Oh, I got series winners. I'm sorry. Rays minus 155 to win this one, man. That sounds pretty good. Although that's kind of tempting you. I thought, you know what? I almost stepped on a rake. Let's just do a quick lesson, just the quickest, because I've made this mistake before. You got to calculate the odds, right? Because there's so few games. This series at minus 155, you almost. I don't know if they let you parlay into the future, right? But that's kind of what you'd want to do, right? Is if you just parlay the 2 Tampa games, you'd get it. I guess if you went 2 out of 3, you're winning in 3. But if you think it's going to take 3 games, you probably don't want to pay the 155. But you got to like the 155, of course. For Tampa over Texas plus 130, I don't think I would go there. In fact, it's not up. But I believe when it is, you're going to get better than 130 to beat Glasnow with Montgomery. I wouldn't be surprised if that's like the line. I would just look for the single game win. It's easier to win 1. Hard to beat Glasnow. No kidding. So after Glasnow, it's Savali and Eflin. They were both also really good. Savali, Reclamation Project from Cleveland. I shouldn't say that. It's not like he was bad, but they even upped them again. Eflin, who was always good from Philly, off the charts. I have Eflin projected as the SP2. 3.5 ERA, 1 flat whip, 638 OPS. All the indicators at 3.3 or below. Really buying what he's selling. This is Zach Eflin. 3.5% walk rate, just bouncing off the page. Validated with a 31% ball rate. 37 O swing, 50 ground ball. So you can see where he's getting at. He's throwing strikes, 66% first strike. Getting ahead, he can make you chase his garbage, but he also keeps it down big time. Gotta like what you've seen from Eflin. He's going to be the better pitcher in that game as well. Sub 1 homer 9, 3.5 xFIP, 640 OPS allowed on the road. Down the stretch, second half was excellent. 3.8 ERA, 1 flat whip, but the indicator's even better. 3.3 Sierra, 3% walk rate, 24 K minus BB for Eflin. Really, really good against sub 1 homer 9. If they get to it, it's a volley, ground ball machine. If not, Taj Bradley. If they're getting to Bradley, you're probably looking at a Texas win. I don't know. Jay's has him at the minus 155. I think we have to. I think we should. Yeah, I think we should. I think it's pretty strong. How about this? Why don't you swing up? Let's finish it up with the bullpens. And this is where I think, as I'm looking at it, I think the answer is a definitive yes, Jay. So let's do it. I got last 30 days and second half. I know I said big picture, but man, bullpens are so fluid that when you look at the actual rotation, the people involved, it's a lot different. So I'm looking, I got last 30 days, that's about 100 innings or so at least. And then second half, it's like 275 to 300 innings. So still pretty decent samples. Texas, a 4.8 ERA, last 120 innings. The disciplinary stuff, not bad, but they have a lot of hard contact and a lot of home runs. It's bad news. 4.25 Sierra on the season, 22K, 40 hard hit, 9% barrel, not any good. Tampa has been excellent and improving down the stretch. 2.9 Sierra, last 110 innings, 30.5 K rate to only 6 walk. That's what we're looking at. That's what we want. Lock it in, Jay. Tampa to win the first series, minus 155. William Craig's got TB win first game and the series at minus 105. I would need some back of the napkin math in my little handy dandy calculator. I guess it depends where you think Glasnow comes in. I kind of like the long view of it. I think they really get 2 in a row. But again, finding the forward-looking lines is difficult for MLB. So yeah, let's get Tampa. Over Texas, I mentioned the bullpens. Texas is Leclerc, Chapman, Smith, Burke, Stratton, Spores, and Hernandez. Just really okay. I guess Leclerc has been good. Chapman's got the strikeouts, but way too many runs, too many walks. The control falls apart. Smith was really good to start. Has since fallen apart. Has got a 4.4 ERA now on the season. K per 9. Dropped below 9. Tampa, it's Fairbanks, Pache, Robert Stevenson, Reclamation, Andrew Kittredge, Diekman, Sean Armstrong has been really, really good. Look to see him. Davinsky and Lopez. Fairbanks has been excellent this season. 2.6 ERA, 25 saves, 13.5 K per 9. Stevenson, again, they fixed him. 3.10 ERA, 38% K per 9. This is how you do it, people. And then Armstrong with a mix. Again, Pache is a lefty, so is Diekman. So nice mix of lefties and righties. Tampa bullpen locked that one in. Let's get it. I didn't see if you bet it or not, Jay. I was going to say maybe like a pay to win 5 because it's like a longer bet. But if not, no big deal. Oh. Yo. Dun, dun, dun. Me and Jay officially becoming a single person. Sharing. I was going to say we're sharing a brain, which just would mean I'm probably stealing his. By the time I hit October, I'm mostly mush. So that's one taste of it. Okay, I'm gonna have to speed it up, but I guess we did intro at the beginning. So there's your setup. Bullpen. I guess I kind of glazed over offense. I mean, quickly the offensive edge goes to Texas, but remember they have struggled to hit lefties all season. So it just doesn't really look good that first game. It's just not boding well for them. Tampa's hit righties and has a top 8 expected WOBA versus lefties in the second half. So it's not that the defense has been bad. The offense has been bad. I'm sorry. They're very aggressive, which is not always terrible. But you see 13 swing and strike, 35 chase. You think they strike out a lot. They don't. But it's the sellout. 43 pull, 40 hard hit, 332. Team WOBA, that's a 116 WRC plus. Actually better than the Rangers in the second half, go figure. So Tampa with the 3-phase edge. Let's move it on. I'll try and be a little more brief. I don't remember how long I promised this show would be. So I guess it's my party. I'll blab if I want to. Nexty, Blue Jays and Twinkies. This one's gonna be a good one. This one's gonna be a good one. I just feel so bad for the Jays fans. They're in, right? You feel bad for the Yankees fans, losers. Feel bad for the Red Sox fans, losers. Padres fans, losers. They made it, but it was like the way they did it, right? That big up and down, and all the depressing runner in scoring position, then kind of struggling at home. And I think that's going to be that's kind of the big thing here, is people trashing the Jays offense. They've been much better on the road. I think that's the key. Minnesota has been excellent second half. They have the definitive edge. 124 WRC plus as a team. Double-digit Barrett, 42 hard hit with the 41 fly ball. That's how you get it done. Double-digit walk rate. Pushing pitchers, 346 OBP in the second half. Hitting home runs. Really, really looking good down the stretch. Unfortunately, Lewis was a part of that. He's gone. Let's get into the pitching really quick. Toronto, I've got Gausman, Joe Berries, Jose Berrios, the Batson Hound, and Yusei Kikuchi. Gausman, obviously, the clear, definitive one. After that, I'm not 100% sure. I've heard people clamoring for Bassett. My worry are the splits. Bassett's really struggled on the road, 277 batting average allowed, 833 OPS, That's a 4.5 ERA, nearly 2 home runs per 9. Bit of a struggle there. Will they turn to Kikuchi in the game 3? That might be where I'd go. The big thing is Minnesota, something we've covered all year. They've really done a good job hitting lefties. 350 expected WOBA versus lefties in the second half, tied with Toronto. Only thing is Minnesota, no lefties. Toronto versus righties, not nearly as good, down below average. 307 expected WOBA, not very good. 318 standard WOBA, composite WOBA. Actual real-life three-dimensional WOBA. Versus righties, not great. Hard hit rates, not great. Bottom 5 in the league down the stretch. Second half. Not what you'd expect from Toronto. But like I said, however, I know I was looking at this. I don't have it handy. I'm going to try and filibuster my way to it. I don't know if I'll be able to do it. But I was mentioning this on a radio spot just because it threw me off. How disparate some of the stats were home and away for the Jays. I actually have it right here because I think we know what we know about the pitching already. But this kind of really got me. Jays at home on the season, 250 batting average. Just not great, 248, I should say, 103 WRC plus, 315 WOBA, quite literally like the definition of average. 21K to 9% walk, 400 slug, sub 300 BABIP, 150 ISO. Really just kind of blah. 30% hard hit, very low. Double-digit infield fly, really poor. 41 ground ball, not any good. Toronto Blue Jay offense at home in the center, Rogers Center. Objectively mediocre, right? I want to trash them. I want to get Yankee blowback. Different story, though. On the road. Everything that bump higher into above average. 111 WRC plus, 332 WOBA, 430 slug, 334 OBP. The hard hit rate up at 34 opposed to 30. It's a big difference. 40 pull. The ground ball's always kind of an issue, but the line drive rate a little bit higher. So the power stroke has been better for Toronto. I've heard some sharp people talk about the batter's eye. I can't speak for that. Something to keep an eye on. Again, Gausman, damn goat. On the side for the Twinkies, you got to think it's Pablo Lopez. Get the ball in game 1. 3.6 ERA, 115 whip, 675 OPS, but all the indicators at 3.3 or below. He had a sub 3 expected ERA. Pablo Lopez, the damn goat. 29K to 6 walk. All the underpinning stuff that we absolutely love here with the nuance and the context that you get when you roll with us. Call to the Pen HQ, baby. 14.5 swing and strike. 30 CSW, sub 33 ball, 69 first strike, 38 O swing. There's your bully metric. The kind of stuff that managers are looking at. When it comes to needing to win games, you want pitchers that get up, they get ahead. First of all, we know all the split stats are so heavily in the pitcher's favor when ahead. It's not even a question anymore. He gets up, he gets ahead, and he can make you chase his junk. There's your bully, right? Pablo Lopez, just fantastic this year. Fan-freaking-tastic, baby. Plus, 45 ground ball, contact suppression at its best, 29.5 hard hit, 3% blast rate, 262 expected WOBA. He's the guy they want. 310 ERA, 655 OPS on the road. This one is going to be a really, really tough one. I would not be surprised if this one is capped like legit at even. Anthony Roman, what's going on? Appreciate you, my dude. Hope you had a good weekend. This one's got to be capped. I should have looked when I had it up before. Twinkies minus 125 to win the series. I don't think I could get there. I don't know if I could get there again. I think Minnesota had the edge, like I mentioned, second half. I think when you balance it out for the splits, you got to just go with even. This one's going to be really, really close. Like, really close. That first game is going to be pivotal. If Toronto loses the first game, I think they're in trouble. If Toronto wins the first game, the door is open. Sonny Gray's been really good. But so is Joe Berries, man. Do not sleep on Jose Berrios. He's been really good. They have to get it to the bullpen. And, this is kind of where you get the tale of two seasons a little bit. But also where I think Toronto, again, has the edge. So if you're looking at just down the stretch the last 30 days, which I much prefer second half. I want the larger sample. I want the players that were in the bullpen. And maybe more importantly, Toronto was playing all the way down the stretch, I understand. But a lot of teams were not. And we want the cleaner data. So last 30, you're seeing Minnesota did correct course down the stretch, looking really good. But the 300 second half innings for the Twin bullpen, not good. 4.8 ERA, 1.5 whip, 266 BA allowed. 86 on contact, 40 hard hit, took 16 losses. Toronto Blue Jays, last 250 innings, 3.3 ERA, 115 whip. Not 150, 115. 7.5 walk, 82 zone contact, 6% barrel, sub 1, homer 9. Really the stuff that we like. I think they also have, I just think pound for pound, I think the arms are a little bit better. Let's take a quick look. It's Romano, Hicks, and Swanson, Genesis Cabrera. I love that. Where for the Twins, you got to like Duran. Pagan's been good as well. Not really getting the Ks that you like from your setup guy. After that, I don't know. We're going to see Varland in a relief role. Griffin Jackson's been really good. Struggled down the stretch. Then after that, I don't know what you're getting. Kenta Maeda floating back there. Maybe innings eating. Sometimes those kind of pitchers get impact innings in the bullpen. But it's generally not what you want because it means you don't have a guy that you trust. Caleb Debar, Brock Stewart. Not quite the same. Again, I think it's a definitive edge to the Blue Jays. So this one I'm gonna fade on. I'm gonna cross this one out from a series standpoint. And I don't think I like the pennant prospects either. Winner goes to... Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's not... Excuse me. Winner doesn't necessarily go to Houston. If Toronto wins, Toronto goes to Houston as the worst seed. Jay, I know we're not really shopping on BetStamp, but we're at that midway point. I know you came prepared. Could you hit him up, man? Let's win over that sponsor, man.
For sure, John. I got you here. The easiest way to improve as a sports bettor is to always use multiple sports books and always get the best odds. We find the easiest way to do so is to use an odds comparison tool like BetStamp. BetStamp compares odds across every sports book, including games, player props, and futures. Save time and money by downloading the app today. If you're looking to sign up for more sports books, head over to betstamp.app/call to the pen. And if you sign up through that page, it helps support the show. Now back to John.
You're a gentleman and a scholar, my friend. Huge help right there. A great job while you do it. I don't know if anybody caught us together. Me and Jay killing it, on Friday. Jay, I don't know what it is with FP, but I got the horns on me. Juwan Johnson at least got voided. He got hurt. The other one didn't. I just can't buy it. I only hit stuff that I was on my page. It's not on purpose. Anyway. All right, let's get back into the series. So that one I think I'm leaving. I don't know if I like the Twins enough. I do like the pitching. I got to admit, I do like the pitching. I worry about the bullpen. And that's how you win these games. Pitchers getting stretched, bullpens needing to get more work, and then oftentimes in back-to-back-to-back, these consecutive games, high leverage with more workload than normal, starting pitching at the 4. You got to give the Twins the edge, but I don't think it's as definitive as it looks. Yusei Kikuchi's also been really good. I know people just don't want to hear it. Down the stretch, Yusei Kikuchi, 3.3 ERA, 1.25 WHIP, 3.6 ERA, everything looking good, 27.5 K, 21 KBB. All this on a 350 BABIP. 350 BABIP. That normalizes. This guy is killing it, man. Killing it. Half a home run per 9. For Kikuchi, last 74 innings. I know people are going to be clamoring for Bassett. I'd probably be looking at Kikuchi as my 3. BGC, hope you had a great weekend. Thank you so much for the tweet, man. I really do appreciate it. Got to shout you out whenever I can, people. That stuff matters more than it should, letting the bosses know. The oh-so-busy bosses know what kind of work we're doing when no one's watching, right? Just, I dance like nobody's watching. You know that, man. So I'm going to fade this one. Sorry to my Blue Jays fans. I might have wanted some really bullish call. Twins fans as well. I have to give the Twins a slight edge, so I guess I think the pricing is fair. I'm not really looking to bet that. I think we can get minus 125 for something we like a little bit better. All right, let's move on. So that's the American League side of it for today. We're going to flip over to the National League. I'm going to try and giddy up a little bit more like that second one. I think this is okay. We're pacing okay. We'll get it under an hour. Not too many shows doing this kind of stuff, right? More of it really kind of in-depth. Some advanced statistics overlaid time frames, 3 phases, I guess what you come to expect, hopefully, when you hang out with us. Next up, this one, Jay, get the betting fingers ready, everybody. Get your betting fingers ready. Because this is the one we want. It's the Brewers hosting the Diamondbacks. I'm just wheels up all over for the Brewers. Let's not bury the lead. They're minus 170 to win the series. Jay, I think I'm going to look past that, actually. Right now, the best time to get the pricing that we can, right? Best available pricing is right now, we should say. William Craig says, I think the playoff bracket's a fixed bracket. Twins Jays winner goes to Houston. Will, I have to admit, you're a really awesome listener. I thought I heard that, and I see like a line drawn, but when isn't it that? Right? When isn't it that? So, all games at higher seed. I have some playoff stuff, but no, I don't have it. You could be right, and I'm really sorry about that. Although all that does is kind of strengthen my argument. So I don't want to backtrack the L, right? L for me, but that only strengthens the position I already had, which is I do not like either one of those teams at Houston. Houston's getting the pitching going with Urquidy back. They have the top end starter in Verlander. They have the big time hitting. With the experience from a lot of those guys. And then like Jeremy Pena, right? He's just when the spotlight's on, dude is just bananas. So thank you for that, Will. It's so funny. You get people that don't like to be corrected. I mean, listen, you know what I mean? Such is life. I make so many calls and stands you're going to miss. Here we go. So the Arizona Diamondbacks are just really outgunned, right? Even with Gallen, they needed him to win. He just pitched. So Gallen pitched on Friday. So you're going to only see him once, and it already may be too late, and it'll be in a game where the Brewers have a comparable pitcher. I mean, this is what we want to be betting on. Jay, I want the Brewers all the way up. So let's get, a buck on the pennant and a buck on the World Series, although let's go double double pennant than series. So let's say $2 pennant, $1 series. Keeping it tight. I know I saw those and they were looking juicy. Milwaukee Brewers 8-1 to win the pennant. I love that. Brewers 17-1 I got to win the World Series. Again, if they do it, it's going to be predicated on the power pitching that I mentioned. Pick a proper power pitching, people. I mean, Burns, Woodruff, Peralta. Burns and Woodruff have a sub 600 OPS on the season. 107 whip or lower. Woodruff 2.28 ERA. Expected ERAs all at 3.3 or below. That's all three of them. Lowest K rate is 25.5. Highest walk rate is 8. Wowza. And this is Burns. Like, Burns on the stat sheet, objectively like the worst pitcher. But when you pop into the second half, check this out. I mean, this is just where... This is it, people, right? This is what we're looking for. Burns, Woodruff, and Peralta in the second half. 2.8 ERA max. 0.98 whip max. 28.5 K min. 21 KBB min. 29 CSW min. I mean, this is like everything that you're looking for. Burns has 137 stuff plus in the second half. Oh my God, so good. So it's wheels up for the Brewers all the way, right? As far as the pitching, the Arizona pitching is struggling. Listen, we love Gallen, and even if we hand him that game, after that it's Merrill Kelly, and it's Brandon Pfaadt. Yeah, 2-1 sounds good, Jay. And that's just not going to play. There really is no one else even behind these guys. Kelly far outperformed all the indicators, all the inputs. 3.29 ERA, 119 whip, 670 OPS fine. Every indicator north of 4, double-digit walk rate, 27 CSW, 35 ball. Really not great. He's kept the ball down and lived on that, but he's getting hit hard. He's kept it in the park and been really, really good at home. But he's not in the desert, is he? He's not in the desert. He's on the road, whereas in nearly 800 OPS, nearly 4.5 XFIP, 92 stuff plus. Kelly, I'm getting away from. Again, I got big-time regression coming for him. He doesn't have the power stuff we like. Pfaadt, we know the trajectory narrative we've been beating to death all year. If you're a new listener, basically it's simple. Big-time pitching prospect, everybody loves. He comes up and he sucks. He goes down, he comes back. People think he sucks, but we think he's good. He's good, but he's not that good. And it's also too big of a spot for him against those type of pitchers. So you got to give the big-time pitching edge. It's a big-time pitching edge to the Brewers. Offenses, maybe we call it a split. Brewers, I think you have to give the edge down the stretch. Both really kind of bad. Arizona offense went in the tank the entire second half. Bottom 5 in home runs, sub 700 OPS as a team, 44 ground ball, sub 40 pull rate, 5.5 barrel. That's a 90 WRC plus, 295 expected WOBA versus righties. Not to be done by the Brewers, though. At least they're getting on base, 329 OBP for the Brew Crew. That'll do it. Top 5 in doubles, getting it done there. But again, too many ground balls, not enough pull balls, not enough barrels. So the Brew offense has been a struggle as well. But we want the bullpens. Again, Milwaukee had their struggles down the stretch. But I don't want to be contradictory. We're like, for when I like it, I use the 30. It was the health thing and the player thing. So we could just go that route if you want. The Milwaukee bullpen is good. Devin Williams is probably the best reliever in this series. Then, you get the guys you never heard of, like Piamps has been excellent. 2.5 ERA through 70 innings this season. 27% K, 10 K per 9. Trevor McGill has been good as well down the stretch. Milner, the lefty's been really good down the stretch. Uribe's been really good down the stretch. Uribe has a 1 3/4 ERA, 31% K, 11.5 K per 9. Milwaukee bullpen, pound for pound, excellent, getting all the swings and misses. I really worry about Arizona. It's Paul Sewald who's good. Other than that, I really worry. Ginkel's had his ups and downs. Castro more downs than ups. And then it's all guys I worry about. I mean, quite literally, Thompson, Salfrack, Jarvis, Mantiply, all with 18% K rates or worse, not going to do it from the bullpen. So give me the Brewers just across the board. The Brewers win it all, Give me Brewers pennant. Brewers win this parlay easily. Hopefully stay rested. On track for the Dodgers, who again are good, but also really beatable. TMO forever. Good to see you, man. Thanks for hopping aboard. Hope you had a good weekend. Grab the spear, grab the shield. Help defend Sparta. Will be give to the books nothing and take from them everything. Here at Call to the Pen HQ, the fastest freaking show in MLB. Anywhere. Freaking naughty. Freaking naughty. Come on, baby. Rate, review, and subscribe. Get us over that finish line. Let's get this show back for next year. Hey, we did a good enough job in the regular season. We're here for the playoffs, baby. But who's doing it the way that we do? Me and you, the Call to the Pen crew. The answer is nobody. Nobody, because we're getting when we're fitting around here. You know what I'm saying? All right, so it's the Brewers by a mile. Let's move it on to the last one, and then I'll get everybody out of here. Thanks again for watching the show. If you're following baseball stuff in October, you're a degenerate, and one of us, you are one of us, part of the failings here at 300, baby. Absolutely appreciate you. Absolutely. Literal definition of the word, throughout and infinite. All right, next on. Let's do it. It's the Marlins against the Phillies. This one is up for grabs, man. I know the betting market, I'm sure, loves the Phillies. I'm not sure I'm necessarily there. So I guess maybe that's like where should we be looking for some edge? What kind of... It's only plus 155 in the Marlins, so the book's not even really sniffing it. Let's dive into it quickly. We'll start with the pitchers. Starting pitching this time. First, Miami. I've got Luzardo, Braxton Garrett, Edward Cabrera. I mean... wild card on the back end. Phillies, I've got Wheeler, I've got Nola. After that, it's like Dirty Sanchez, Christopher Sanchez, or Taiwan Johnny Walker. I don't know. Walker's been really bad second half. 5.5 Sierra, 1.4 whip for Walker. Second half's last 76 innings, a 6% KBB. 28 O swing, 90 zone contact. It's been really brutal. Sanchez has the big time contact number as well, but he's much better with the ground ball and the contact suppression. You have to think he'd get the ball game 3. If he gets to game 3, man, holy cow, man. Bet the over. You gotta like the Jesus Lizard, man. I've always been a big Luzardo guy. 3.6 ERA, 122 whip, and all the indicators, maybe 3.7 or below. 28K to only 7 walk. But the big time playoff stuff I like. 14 swinging strike, 30 CSW, 31 whiff. He's got to get ahead. 40% ground ball rate, checking boxes there as well. 303 expected WOBA. I like it. Braxton Garrett, who I was really big into this fantasy season, struggled down the stretch. So was Luzardo. Gotta like the Phillies, right? You gotta like the Phillies. Going to come down to them hitting lefties. I forgot I had something note on that. Right, and it was why I didn't want to bet the Marlins. My note was how the Phillies hit lefties. Damon Ash didn't expect a wild card show, but we get it when we fit it around here, man. I just said it. Welcome back to the restaurant where the chefs eat. Hopefully the best damn show on the internet. I'm not sure anyone else jamming in this much information. Talk about 5 pounds of shite in a 3-pound box, man. It's like my calling card. So that was it, right? When I first started looking at the pitching matchups, listen, of course, we love Wheeler, right? I shouldn't shortchange, but the Philadelphia pitching staff, there's some problems here. Wheeler, I think, is a GOAT, legitimate game 1 starter. If the Phillies get Luzardo game 1, this one's probably a wrap. I don't want to pay the juice for that. Because I kind of have a feeling the game 1 odds is going to be similar to the series odds. Right? So again, as much as this is a playoff show, we have like playoff betting and stuff, let's still be smart. Zach Wheeler, again, just objectively awesome. Really great on the road. Sub 600 OPS, 3.4 xFIP, 0.6 homer 9 for Wheeler on the road. Really strong second half. Sub 1 whip, second half, 88 innings. He's excellent. Aaron Nola. I know people are kind of crapping on this guy. 4.5 ERA, 115 whip. Maybe not what you'd expected. The indicators always love him more than we do. Sub 6% walk, 32 ball, 37 O swing. A lot of the underpinnings are there. 43 ground ball, 32 hard hit. No, the underpinnings are there. He gave up a lot of home runs. Sometimes it happens, especially with that knuckle curve that he throws. When he misses, it ends up in the seats. But how do you not like Aaron Nola here? I heard this one earlier on. He's really struggled on the road. It's true. 800 OPS, 5.4 ERA, but the xFIP is below 4 again. Home run regression, 1.7 homer 9 on the road for Nola. If that regresses, he's going to be fine. This has been the story all year down the stretch. 4.6 ERA, 1.22 WHIP, and all the indicators: 3.5 Sierra, 3.25 xFIP, 5% walk, 40 O swing. A lot of really strong stuff for Nola. That second game should be really, really good. This one is really the series to watch. Offense is where we start to see the separation. The Miami offense, again, you want to be looking at the second half when they made their player acquisitions. But it's been a really rough go. Bottom 5 in steals, bottom 5 in runs, bottom 5 in homers. Bottom 8 in OBP and OPS with a sub 7% walk rate. Not going to do it. 46 ground ball, sub 39 pull. That's a 309 team. WOBA 92 WRC plus. Get ready for a mouthful. Your WOBA, expected WOBA, lefty-righty second-hand split, maxed out at 312. That's not any good. Those are all below average. 305 expected WOBA versus righty second half is bottom 10. Miami Marlins probably set to struggle the more I look at it. You know what I think I had stuck in my mind was the last 14 days they've come on strong. But again, you got to be careful. Playing teams that don't matter. They're playing teams that are mailing it in. They're crushing terrible pitching. Marlins hitting is what it is. We're talking about, this has got to be 2,500 at bats, 3,000 at bats. You know what I'm saying? Phillies offense been really good. Top 5 in. And this is where we put it together again. Gold star on our nose. One of the things we did really well at, and I think one of the things that help us get into the green at the end of the year. Identifying teams that put power together with speed. Those are your run line coverage teams, right? Those are the teams that score. Yes, Phillies, top 5 in homers and OBP and OPS. Double-digit walk rate, you might expect it. Top 8 in hard hit, 9% barrel, 340 WOBA. You might expect it. However, they also had 71 steals in the second half. That's top 5. That's how you get it done. I mentioned the expected and WOBA lefty-righty second half split. Your mouth full. Miami maxed out at 312. Phillies have a 322 floor. 356 expected WOBA versus lefty second half. The more I talk about this one, the more I like the Phillies. Then when you look at the bullpens, this one, if you're into the last month, Phillies bullpen corrected, looking great. Last 100 innings, 270 ERA, 113 WHIP. Miami's bullpen off the rails, 5.4 ERA, 150 WHIP. You gotta like the Phillies, man. Again, I must have just had other time frame stuff stuck in my head. You really gotta like the Phillies here because I had bad Nola stuck in my head. I had the wrong Miami thing stuck in my head. So again, we never want to let our priors stand in the way of plus EV betting, proper analysis, and being stubborn about being wrong. I don't care if I'm wrong. I didn't even have any money on it. It's not a great lesson. I think I mentioned this on Jay's show. Jay's show. Jay has a show. Yeah, one of us. I do this to myself all the freaking time. Man, do it to myself all the time, propping up my boys, which is really more important than any type of analysis. But anyway. Taking L's and being malleable and stuff is just, it's so important, if you're not have money on it, because, this is what I was going to say. Changing your mind with new information is not flip-flopping, it's critical thought. I love when people say, you change your mind, you flip-flop. Okay, back and forth on a whim is flip-flopping. Flippy, right? Ping, ing is like a verb thing. It's flippy, floppy. If you thought A and get information and say B because of information piece C, you're just smart. It's fine. So yeah, I got to go the other way on this. But again, I still don't think I like the pricing. It's 185 for the Phillies. That's funny. Since I've been blabbering, the lines just got posted live on DK, like literally. The first game is minus 165 anyway. So I'm just not crazy about the pricing. That's what I'm not crazy about. I feel like there's other ways to attack to get exposure to seeing price or better. So I wouldn't take the Phillies there. I was trying to filibuster to get to I don't know why the division and conference stuff is not on the same thing, the pennant stuff, sorry. Phillies 600. I should have mentioned the chalk before. Braves and Dodgers 145, 200. That's to win the pennant. That's silly. Again, you're going to get those. You could beat that. Astros and Orioles 185 and 290. Same. So I think if you're going to bet the pennant, you want to be betting on the longer stuff. We know if we're talking pitching, we're talking bullpen. We mentioned the Brewers on the National League side. Maybe the Rays at plus 500 also for the pennant, Jay. Is it right? Because they go the other way. And I think Rays, Orioles, again, I'm not really too afraid. Sorry for my dude, Dream, Alex Fast, a couple other Orioles fans that I know out there. I love this team. They're so likable. Baltimore Orioles, incredibly likable. Young, talented. Oh my God, they're everything. They're so, so good. They're so, so good. But the swing and miss stuff is missing. It's going to be Grayson Rodriguez. He's your game one starter. God bless this kid. But after that, what Means and Gibson, I'm just not buying it. Creamer, I'm not buying it. I don't think that's enough to get it done. Rays going Glass now and Eflin, Savale to Bradley. They have more fill-ins also. So I like that one. That's my other pennant one. And I guess if we're going to go for pennant, you might as well do the same thing. You want to mimic it, Jay? And go 2, we'll go 2-1 and make a similar mimic. $2 on the Rays to win the pennant, $1 for them to win the World Series. And I think that'll do it, everybody. For your wild card playoff picture preview, pick the peck of power pitchers, player props to profit, player. Just kind of scan through my stuff, make sure I got everything I was looking for. Yeah, we went through all the bullpens. I guess we didn't do specifically, the problem with Miami. You mentioned him struggling, but it's Tanner Scott after that. I don't know. AJ Puck, okay, but Robinson's fall apart. Chargois, I worry about. Brazovan, I thought would be good, and he's not. The Phillies, Kimbrel Alvarado is really where you're looking with Soto and Dominguez getting the swings and misses. Again, Strom and Michael Lorenzen able to eat up innings. I'm really liking the Phillies the more I think about it. Because I think when we get into the next level, the flaws in the pitching depth is going to be the problem. Of course, we are going to end up fading the Braves, and that's what it's going to be around here. But if the Braves are able to be beaten, right? So I think if you're going to fade the Braves, you feed the Braves with overs as well. Right? Kind of hedge, right? You're going to beat them with overs probably. But it's because of the lack of pitching depth. When you shift into 7-game series, it being even more important than it is now, where a team like the Phillies gets a huge boost. Even against the Braves, especially against the Braves, but even against a team like the Dodgers. Again, they kind of have a lot of front-loaded, young pitching. How much are they going to push these guys? And now with Urias on the shelf because he's a dirtbag. Kershaw, maybe. I guess that's when the reins come off in the playoffs. And he'll go 6 to let him throw 100 pitches, I guess. I'm not sure if the Dodgers have the depth there. You're going to be getting all the Pepio and all this stuff. I know it. And Vesia, and you're just be getting these guys you never heard of, these youngsters. But man, asking a lot. I don't think the Dodgers are the favorites that the market sees them as. Same to be said for the Orioles. Again, pitching depth, just being at the center. The reason I don't want to go up against Houston is I think that they have the arms, plus the bats, and a good enough bullpen. So that'll do it. I think we did a pretty good job. We got a little first round action. Then we got a couple of pennant plays. And a couple of World Series plays, and we'll be back tomorrow and every single day. Thank you all so much. It's you, the subscribers, that got this show back on air. It's you, the subscribers, that have me yelling at my computer for another 30 days as we, fly around on a ball of water at 1,000,000 miles an hour going around the ball of fire. With J&J and all the hardworking men and women here at Call to the Pen, redheaded stepchild of the Hammer Betting Network. We appreciate you all. Everyone have a wonderful day. We'll be back tomorrow with the game stuff, right? How great is this? The foundation is laid. Everyone has a good idea of what to expect. Some pitching moves, what we're thinking about the offenses and how they split. Then with bullpens and some depth. No, thank you, Anthony, and thank you, Brian, and thank you, Tim. Tim, I saw that, my friend. Tim hit me up, man. Thank you so much. These messages mean the world to me. We try and read. I read every one of them. It's very hard to respond to all of them because sometimes I'm doing other stuff, but it doesn't mean I care any less. So I know from Mr. Coop, hardest working producer in the game, and Big Johnny Stud. We'll catch you soon. See you tomorrow at 9:30. Thanks for picking up what we're putting down. Hope you enjoyed the playoff show. Tag Rob Pizzola. Let him know how good of a job we're doing, yo. Enjoy your day off. Look at that. Day off. Who would have thunk it? What are we supposed to do? I guess we're just bet on football. So enjoy the game. Enjoy your day. When we're done with the book, enjoy the pay. And remember, everybody, when you work this hard, there's a lot less like luck, yo. Peace out.